Now, when we think about dangerous to the environment, the impact that technology has is usually way down the list. But what if we could make some simple changes that would make a big difference? Well, our gadget expert, Colin Baker, joins us now to demonstrate a range of eco-friendly tech items that will help us do just that. And I'm scooting not just for the good of my health, but for a reason, because this is your Greta Thunberg moment. You take this to work.
Yeah, I do 13 kilometres in the morning and about the same in the evening. And if it's really, really rainy and miserable, I'll fold it up and hop on the dart. But it's my own sort of tip of the hat to saving a little bit of my carbon footprint.
And what kind of difference does an electric scooter like this make?
Well, I've been doing quite a bit of research on the impact, the CO2 generation of the different ways we can commute. This is a very big saving, obviously, on bus or train. A huge saving on car. A car typically, from my research, is about 50 or 60 kilos of CO2 per week. And that's quite an enormous amount, 50, 60 kilos.
And there's a lot of websites done where you can put that in, can't you? You can find out what your carbon footprint is.
mycarbonemissions.com, I think it's called. And I was working it all out. Now, obviously, a bicycle, a push bike, a pedal bike is even more than this. But there's a lot of people who don't have a shower at work, or maybe they don't have the energy or the fitness level to cycle, or maybe they're a little bit further out. This particular model, it's the E2. Now, this is quite a comprehensive, quite a powerful model. This does up to 40 kilometres an hour. So it's really more for the, not for the faint-hearted. I've had about 8 scooters before this, and I always wear a helmet, always wear a fluorescent jacket. The legality of scooters, as you know, is still very much in a grey area.
Yeah.
They haven't legalised or made them illegal as such. They haven't really ratified them at all yet. But I'm hoping they do, because it's a great alternative to get to work. It's quick, it's convenient. If it is rainy, you can hop on a bus. They fold up really small, and they're inexpensive to run. And there's a huge saving in terms of, I suppose, the eco-impact.
What about where we are with charging then? I mean, obviously you can just charge this at home or at work, but with cars, do we have enough charging points for people to fully change over?
It's a good question, yeah. And then there's that whole range anxiety, say, with cars, electric cars. I heard recently, I think it was Marion Finucane or something, said that we're only displacing the impact because we're charging it with a grid that is largely fossil fuel based. Yeah. But 10 years ago, electricity, batteries, they were a lot less efficient. And also, if you look at, say, just the last 2 years alone, we've introduced 500 megawatts onto the grid of wind turbines. So we're actually approaching now 30% of our grid is powered by renewable energy. So that's in parallel to the development of these technologies and alternatives, electric alternatives and electric cars. We're also developing all the time exponentially better and more eco-friendly ways of generating power. So it is a really, really good way to go in terms of the environment.
Hopefully your favourite piece of equipment doesn't clatter onto the floor.
Not with the high heels, but good job.
I know. Right, so this is another way, because everybody is into technology at the moment,
of course,
and whether or not we buy new or buy factory refurbished is a way that we can stop waste.
Completely. I was just researching the impact of just a simple iPad. So a simple iPad generates about 180 kilos of CO2 across its life.
Being made.
Well, being made is about 60 to 70% of that. Then there's a certain amount of use in terms of the cloud and power and recharging, etc. And then a certain amount of use in terms of its disposal. Now, if you look at a lot of companies, Lenovo, Apple, they're getting behind the idea of reusing and refurbishing. So there's a common misconception out there that it's just another word for second-hand, and someone's taken it and cleaned it up. Proper factory refurbished equipment is a fantastic way to go in terms of an option for buying new technology or as new technology. So, for example, recently we sold about 50 of these to a school, and not only are they saving money, so they saved about, I think, 6,000 or 7,000 euro by going refurb, but these devices still have a life. A lot of corporates expire them, dispose of them after a year or 18 months, when they still have life to give.
Don't even give them on, even to a country that's a bit less developed than
in a lot of cases, because of data, traditionally they were just destroying these devices.
Okay.
And of course, technology is one of the largest dumps that we have in terms of the environment. Yeah, exactly. And there's an awful lot of rare chemicals and materials in there. So it's not the type of thing that biodegrades. So reusing and renewing the way Apple are doing with refurb, Lenovo are doing with laptops is a great way to buy. You are saving the environment, but you're also saving money as well.
And your tip is make sure you go
equipment.
to a reputable site or company. Don't just get it on.
Yeah, look, some people will say this is refurbished, but it's just been second-hand and they just cleaned it up. Obviously, if you go to a the other thing about proper refurbs is you get a warranty.
Okay.
With these ones here, you'll get a 1-year warranty. So the same warranty as when you buy new. So you're mitigating that risk factor.
Watch out for things like that, because the thing you're trying to do is avoid waste. Another way you can do that is by fixing things yourself. Now, do you not have to be Colin Baker?
We have to be, no, you don't have to be Colin Baker. No, you can be lots of people. And of course, we've got the friend of YouTube nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know about you, but I looked up how to make pancakes the other day. I never made a pancake. I just looked it up on YouTube. And I did it. I did a fairly decent job on it.
Still, knowing you this long, you still baffle me.
Catherine would do a better one, but no, it wasn't. It was edible. But my point being that YouTube and tools and techie friends, I'm not suggesting that you climb up your electricity grid and pull apart cables.
Your flat screen TV.
So you know what? I think because of the Celtic Tiger and the likes, we moved away from the repair economy. We got into a point, probably pushed by retailers like us as well, to replace as soon as 2-3 years on a computer came by. We're like, is it getting a bit old? Getting a bit tired? Buy a new one.
Yeah.
That's
especially with the speed of technology.
It's really unfortunate because a lot of computers have a huge life. You look at that one there or whatever. You can take a 6, 7, 8-year-old computer and make it like new. You can upgrade your computer with a solid-state drive as against the old one. These are very doable and very safe jobs for people to do on their own. And if they're not confident, they look it up online and they get the tool and they're still not confident, go to a reputable
Will it be as
service.
Expensive as replacing?
No, look, what I always say is if it's cheaper, if it's 50% of the price of replacing it to repair it, go for the repair.
Yeah.
Now, aside from the eco side of things, absolutely. Be mindful of, can I fix this? Now, certain things, if you've got a 10-year-old phone and that's broken, it's just not worth it. You do have to recycle that ethically.
2-3
but if
years
something's
back.
2 or 3, but if a computer, for example, is 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, there is an option there to make it like new for a lot less than replacing it.
One of the biggest ways we use electricity is through our lighting, and we're making the move to LED. So what's that going to mean for the environment?
People often ask me the difference between them. According to a crowd I was talking to recently, one of the suppliers behind these, if we were all technically to change all our lighting in Ireland tonight to LED, 2 power stations could be closed down in Ireland.
Wow.
That's the kind of difference. We're not talking about 10% or 20%. You look at a 60-watt bulb, your conventional 60-watt bulb. Well, this is LED powered. So instead of 60 watt, which is traditionally what we knew as a 60, that's what the power it uses, this uses about 5 watts.
Wow.
So the difference isn't a small percentage.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's also, it has a much longer life as well than the old incandescent tungsten-based bulbs. So you're getting a longer life before you have to dump or recycle it.
Now, with energy-saving light bulbs, I know because I'm a vampire and I like dimmer switches everywhere in the house. You can't use an energy saver with a dimmer.
That's not true. No. A lot of LED is evolving all the time. You'll see when you're buying these things, some of them say non-dimmable and some of them say dimmable. So it depends on the technology behind it. They are a little bit dearer typically. So the traditional bulbs were €1 or 2. LEDs start around €7 or so. So they are a little bit dearer, but you're getting a much longer life and you're saving so much on your bill as well. So even aside from the tree hugging side, the actual saving economically of your pocket.
Charity begins at home.
Exactly.
Now, we've very little time, but you don't have much to say about this anyway. This is a solar-powered phone charger.
I suppose this is to introduce the idea of solar. I mean, we've talked about wind and the likes. Solar is not as efficient as people would think. I use this solar battery pack, which is, you've seen the battery packs, the portable battery packs when you travel.
Well, we see solar panels on roofs, but this is different. This needs actual sunlight.
This needs actual sunlight.
So this is for 2 weeks in Spain.
I leave this on my window ledge right now, and what are we getting in daylight in a day? 5 hours
But
at
it's
most.
just to show that kind of technology is on the way.
I charge that all weekend, and I've only got 2 bars on it. So that's not hugely efficient, but it's getting more efficient all the time. So it's something to bear in mind, particularly for lower power devices like iPads and iPhones.
That it is on the way.
Absolutely,
Good stuff.
It's working already.
Well, thank you very much, Colin. Coming up next, it's all about getting your Christmas party season wardrobe ready. We'll see you in a few.